So I was going to go over my experience of cutting 20 pounds in 6 days. So I took a course over the lockdowns. This course, Lockheed and Leth, kept coming up on my Facebook feed, and I just took it as an opportunity to kind of check it out. George Lockhart is a leading authority in weight cuts and a lot of the nutrition for professional fighters in the UFC. So he kind of knows what he's talking about. And going through the course, it was pretty extensive. The guy, it made me think that the guy must have screwed up a lot of times to figure out the amount of information and content that this guy put into his program. So there's a difference between a weight loss, which is what most people tend to look for when they're looking to lose weight and diet, but then there's also the weight cut, and that's what I performed in this 6-day window. He did it. Something I've been working on the past few months. I first did it going into nationals this past year. There was no real tournament to ramp up to, so you have to just kind of jump in head first with the tournaments that kind of come up. So there was no real priming. I was just trying to do it, and it was the first time I was cutting weight for a tournament in quite a while. I kind of decided that I could use some of my strengths a little bit more in the minus 100 kilo division instead of staying in the heavyweight division, because they're big people. All right, so like my strength tends to be my groundwork, and using groundwork on heavyweights is incredibly difficult. So I figured I can execute a little bit easier at the 100 kilo division. So the weight loss I did initially going into nationals, I lost about 15 pounds, not necessarily doing what was prescribed in the course, just some of the things that I adhere to as a nutrition coach. I just dialed some things in and just changed around some of my training. And then the weight cut itself can start anywhere from 10 days out. This time around I decided 6, just because over the course of time I felt like I was refining what was going on. The first time I did it at nationals, I ended up only having to cut the day of like maybe 3 pounds, which is not that much. Really, you want to try to cut. The idea of cutting water is that you're not affecting the muscle, because if you lose fat, you're going to lose muscle, so you're going to lose strength. So the idea of a cut is that you're looking to lose as much water as possible to sustain the amount of muscle that you have, and then you cut all the way down to wherever it is you need to do, and then you hydrate back up, and you can get back to kind of where you were. Is kind of the approach to it. So I've had some people kind of asking me, "Oh, 20 pounds in 6 days." It's not something 99% of people want to do, because again, there's a difference between weight cut and weight loss. So this time around, I felt like I dialed it in. It was the biggest cut, because like I said, as I've been going through it over the past few months, I was trying to increase the amount of cut, so that way I can have as much muscle going into the matches as possible, and looking to lose as much water. And this one, as time has gone on, it's gotten easier, even while I'm at the age of 41. And I'm actually looking forward to future weight cuts and seeing kind of how it affects it. It's nice to kind of experiment. It's almost as much fun as kind of drinking gallons of water. I mean, that's kind of part of it. So like the idea is that you're water loading. There's a series of supplements. There's diuretics that you have to take, and some laxatives, and they're all approved by WADA and USADA. So it's nothing like that's illegal. All the stuff you're using is natural. So you can't get clipped if you're doing like a drug test or anything. But it went pretty well, and I was pretty happy. I felt great going into the tournament. I was hoping to give the national champ a harder time in a defeat, but the best I could do was wear him out a little bit. But the rest of the day, I felt like I beat everyone I should have, and overall it was just a pretty good experience. So I'm looking forward to the next weight cut. I don't know when the next tournament's going to be because the scheduling, places are getting canceled as far as venues, so who knows what's going to happen. But overall, pretty good experience. If you want to check it out, it's Lockhart and Leth again. If you want any questions about it, feel free to ask. But it was ultimately a good course. I really endorse it. If it's something like, if you're a nutrition coach, you might want to look into yourself. If you want to go outside your comfort zone as far as learning something a little bit different.